On today's episode, we'll talk about the job of the loader, the importance of being a people person, Megalopolis, Saturday night, and of course, completely embarrassing yourself in front of John Mulaney. Just a little bit of business before we start. There may be a curse word here or there in this episode, so please listen responsibly. As always, our website, theop.io, is up and chock full of tips, tricks, and gooey operator goodness. Make sure to check out The Breakdown, where the best operators in the biz explain shots they have done, The Musings, where we discuss everything from quick tips to larger concepts of storytelling, the answers, the images, and so much more. I may or I may not take a break or two during this episode, but I promise that none of them will be longer than 22 seconds. Finally, if you are enjoying the podcast, please follow us, write a review, share us with your parents, and talk us up around the water cooler with your friends. So grab a beverage, sit back, and enjoy the op. Thanks for listening.
Lock it up, nice and quiet, and let's roll.
Rolling. Victor 30 Echo, take 2.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark.
And camera set. And action.
Hello and welcome back to the Op Podcast, the podcast where we talk about operating and the art of visual storytelling. My name is Dave Comites and I'm your host, and I'm coming to you today from lovely Inman Park in Atlanta, where I'm staying because I'm on a show here. I have finally, after trying many times, gotten today's guest to come sit down and talk with me because she's a friend and she works on a ton of great things. Torey Lenart is a loader, and she's actually the first loader we've had on the podcast, so I'm very excited about that. She also, by the way, if Red Bull is listening out there, is looking for sponsorship by Red Bull, and anybody who knows Torey knows what that means and why. And truth of the matter is, Red Bull would probably do very well if they sponsored her, so I'm just throwing that out there. Some of Torey's credits, but not all: Megalopolis, Saturday Night, Hawkeye, WandaVision, Emancipation, Divergent, and 2 upcoming shows, Chad Powers and Madden. Without further ado, here she is. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry you have to listen to me.
Nah, that's all right. This took forever.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because you're busy, because you're working
Unfortunately.
constantly.
But then they shifted our work week, and then you were busy, and it was a whole
I
combo.
know, so don't blame me. All right, so before we go into what your story is, tell everybody I'm going to ask you this 2 ways. Tell everybody what the job of the loader is, but break it down to film loader and digital loader, because it is slightly different, right? And you've done both, right?
Yes. So I think mainly, to put a broad spectrum on it, I think your loader is pretty much your best boy for the camera department.
Okay.
Just broad without putting any details into anything else.
Yep.
And that's the same for film and digital. So you are still in charge of the truck, you're in charge of the gear coming in and out, the time cards, the paperwork, you're the liaison with the office, with Transpo. Kind of very similar to a Best Boy grip and a Best Boy electrician.
Okay, oh, it's funny. I never ever thought about it, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so you're the liaison. If anybody happens with post-production, with anything else, you're kind of the one that they go to, because obviously your camera team is usually pretty busy.
But then on a film show, you're actually physically doing the loading, right?
Correct. Yeah, so digitally wise, you have, your shuttles and your drives and your masters, and you're downloading the physical cards and the sound cards.
Let me ask you a stupid question about that, because that all happens like while I'm either home or on
Correct.
set. So we shoot a card, it goes through the ACs and goes to you.
Correct.
And then what do you have? I'm sure every show is slightly different because there are different protocols, but what's the basic,
Everything you're backing it up to multiple places. So each card gets backed up into a shuttle that goes to either Company 3 or PhotoChem, wherever your dailies are being done.
Okay.
And then you have another copy you keep with you of just a master drive on the camera truck.
And is it transferring like it is on my computer where you just zap it, or does it actually play real time?
It goes through SilverStack, and it will verify, it will make sure nothing's wrong with it. It just combo everything into it to make sure that there's nothing missing. So does 20 minutes of footage take 20 minutes to download, or is it? No, it depends. Well, it depends on the camera. If you're looking like Alexa 65.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? It's real time.
So when we did Megalopolis, that was Alexa 65.
Yeah.
And that movie, we were still using the Vault. And Arri had now adapted it to use what they currently use for a lot of other...
Oh, you're still using the what?
It's called the Vault.
Which is what?
It's basically a program, because the Alexa 65 sensor is so big.
Yeah.
The easiest way to say is it can't close the files in the camera. So it has to go through a program on the computer to finish each file.
Because it's just so much information.
Correct. So they have able to adapted that into what's called a Codex Device Manager, which is what all cameras use now. So Alexa 35, the LF, Mini LF.
Okay.
It's on all of those. But with the Alexa 35, you had to go through Alexa 65. You had to go through another program.
Oh my God.
But it was content dependent. So there were like if we had big wide shots that had a lot of grass or trees or wind blowing, one card that might only have 30 minutes of footage could take an hour and a half.
Because there's so much information in that frame, you're saying?
Yes, but then it has to go through another program to put it on the drives.
But I don't understand. But so you're saying, if I shoot a shot on a 16 millimeter, some huge wide frame, that there's more information than that than if I shoot at the same shot on a 135?
Yes.
Really?
And we had a conversation with Ari about this because we couldn't figure out, because that was my first time on the 65, and I could not figure out why some of these cards were taking an hour to go through Volt. Because then you have to download it again in SilverStack.
Oh my
Because
God.
the Volt you can only download
This
to
is
one.
horrible.
Yeah, you can only clone to one drive at a time.
Oh, wow.
So but on SilverStack you could do to 2 to 3 depending. So it goes quicker. But we couldn't figure it out, and all Ari could say was like, yeah, it's a content dependent thing.
That makes no sense at all. Because
I think it's better now than it was, but this was also a couple years ago. So.
Wow. Because I would just assume that like, if you're filling the frame, it doesn't make a difference. I don't know. I can't get my head around that.
And I'm not like that's like a Kyle Spicer question, like that.
Who's Kyle Spicer?
Oh, the DIT I've been working.
Oh,
with
I see. Okay,
forever.
Gotcha.
He's like my Atlanta brother. But he can tell you like exactly like
It's funny because
my
like,
eyes glass over.
all the shows that I work on with DITs, I'm like, hi, how you doing? And then I sort of like don't talk to them too much because a lot of times if I ask a simple question, it goes really deep, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because my mind doesn't work that way.
Yeah, my eyes glass over.
That's amazing.
Like,
So that's the digital download thing.
But again, every show is a little different. So, say Madden with Bob Richardson. So he has his on-set.
You just finished this,
We just finished it. Yeah. So Bob has his on-set colorist Benny, who does just exponentially more coloring than what a DIT.
And is he basically coloring real time?
Correct.
Okay.
So I reload a lot. So, but also David O. Russell, you're looking at 25, 30-minute takes that would fill up a whole card regardless.
Yes.
But that footage then gets transferred to 3 drives. One for Benny, one for post, and one for the main drive. So that still extends the time of how long it takes to
how do you not have 4 hours at the end of every night?
You hopefully get good at it and like when to reload and when not to.
Wow.
And be like, okay, so we have, and it's hard if you're on shows where they can't tell you when they think they're going to wrap, but if they think, hey, wrap's going to be at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know 6 p.m., 7 p.m., reload everybody.
I gotcha.
So then you can't, because you only shoot so much in an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
So it becomes a little better.
Yeah, there's a little bit of time management there. Okay, so that's digital, and then film.
Film, it's different. I think I like film a lot more because like you still have the same aspect of like the time card stuff and the paperwork and the office and the truck.
But
that all
the
stays
actual,
the same.
but the loading of the
physical
film, right?
loading, it's what it's always been. It's a dark room with your hands. And
Do you prefer one over the other?
Film, 100%.
You do.
100%.
And when did you? I'm going to ask you in a minute about your story, but when did you start loading?
So loading, I started 2021. Well, on Empire. So that was Chicago.
Okay.
So that was 2018. I loaded my first show.
Oh wow, I didn't realize.
But when I moved to Atlanta, I came a utility again.
Oh okay. But so how did you learn how to load film?
So funny enough, so film I've always been very interested in, but SNL was a movie I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And I had never loaded a full movie before on film at all.
Yeah, sure, because who gets the chance, right?
It doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah.
So, but when Saturday Night was coming through, we were doing, it was shot by one of my favorite DPs, Eric Spielberg, and we were doing reshoots for Ghostbusters, and we were hearing about SNL, and I was just like, oh my gosh, if there's any opportunity, any chance. I was like, I think the reshoots were my 3rd job with Eric, but I just absolutely love working for him. So I was like, okay, if he's coming into town, that's supposed to start like end of February.
Yeah.
Okay, that gives me 2 months. So I spent every single day at Panavision at Keslow.
Oh, no way. You just went in and it was like,
myself.
you taught yourself.
Yeah, so I had a friend, Lauren Gentry, who actually loaded I, Tanya, as well here on film. So she came in one day to help, like, just show me how to do it.
Yeah.
And then I spent every day learning. And
that's great.
I think it was completely up to Eric and Sebastian Vega and Johnny Utah, or John Hoffler, who was our A-camera team, who gave me the chance to do it.
Yeah, sure.
And Eric believed I could do it. He's worked with me as a loader and as a utility, so he's
He knew you, obviously.
he knew everything else I could handle. It was just the physical film loading
Yeah.
part. But to have a DP trust you enough to
Sure, especially with film, because that's like, I'll tell you the last thing I did on film, which bothers me that this is that long ago, but was Widows, like 2016,
Oh,
2017.
yeah. That was Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah. But they couldn't find a truck with a dark room, and I think they had
Especially in Chicago.
They had to bring it in from Boston or something like that. And it was so funny because all of us were like, "What? Every truck has a dark room?" They're like, "Not anymore."
Not anymore.
And it was a whole thing, and they were talking about like building one in there. But anyway, well, listen, I got ahead of myself. I knew I would, but so tell me your story. How'd you get to where you are?
So I've always wanted to do this. Funny enough, I mean, like a lot of us, but I think it was Pirates of the Caribbean for me. But I was on a cruise with my family, and they were shooting the first Pirates movie, or maybe they just wrapped it. But
where were you on a cruise?
At St. Vincent in the Caribbean, and we were on this little boat, and we were kind of running around, and Port Royal was there. So they had the pirate ships in the bay.
Port Royal?
Port Royal from Pirates of the Caribbean, like the opening sequence on that.
So long ago.
Seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
I've seen it, but it's a long time ago.
Oh my god!
I have kids.
Oh, well, then your kids should have seen it.
You're right.
But regardless, they had like everything was still there.
Okay, I see.
Because they were kind of, I think, either had just wrapped or maybe were.
So the sets were still there. I got you.
And I think it was like the first time I was like, oh my god, like. That could be a job. I think I was like 7 or 8. And I was like, what?
Wait, you were 7 or 8 and you thought this?
I was like, I could do that?
Like, were you, I mean, you're not watching movies seriously at 7 or 8. I mean,
no, but it was still just a cool thing.
Yeah, like, just because Pirates of the Caribbean was, okay, I got
And it was just like, you see the world, like what certain movies can do where they just transform the world.
Well, I can actually see, you were a fan of the movie already.
Oh, God, yeah.
So I can actually see when you're that age, like loving a movie like that and then seeing that and going, oh my god, this is behind the curtain, like there's a thing here. Yeah. Okay.
So I just came super hooked, and
that's really
I have
cool.
Nobody in my family who's been in the film industry at all. My mom, my dad were thankfully super supportive of it, but they were like, we don't know how to help you at all.
But at 7 or 8, did you actually say, I want to make movies?
I told them I want to work on movies. Absolutely. So like my aunt, like, and this was before Amazon or anything. So my aunt for Christmas, I think for my 10th birthday, got me a director's chair. I don't know where she found it. In rural Wisconsin. She drove down to Chicago for Christmas, and she was like, I got this chair. I'm like,
that's fantastic.
So I had like the old little wooden director's chair.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, I mean, I always wanted to do that. I went to school, so in my head, I was like, I don't know anybody, so film school, I think, would have been my next idea of passive where I should go.
And you're living in where? Chicago?
I'm in Chicago at this point. So I really wanted to go to NYU. That was like my goal. I worked all through high school to be like, I'm going to NYU. Wow. I'm going to New York. This is like one of the best film schools. I'm going to go to Tisch. Didn't get in. Destroyed me. And then my dad's like, well, DePaul has a film school.
They have a really good film school.
So he took a day off of school, and he drove me down there, and I saw DePaul, and I think it was one of those weird things that I think everything happens for a reason, and it kept me in Chicago, which little did I know was where I needed to be.
Yeah.
So between my senior year of high school and when I started college, I interned at the Illinois Film Office because I was like, if anything comes through, they'll know about it.
Yeah. That's smart.
And then I got a couple PA days out of that for like little reality things that were coming through. But my first one was, I think this was right my sophomore year of college. I was stalking the set of Divergent.
Wait, can you define that?
So Divergent, I was a big fan of the book.
You're still working on the LA Film Commission.
At the Illinois Film Office. I wasn't anymore because that was just my freshman year. But that's like my first introduction to it.
Okay, gotcha.
But while like in my sophomore year of college, and Divergent was coming to town, and that was a big movie for Chicago, especially because full movies don't really shoot in Chicago much anymore.
Yeah, right.
They come for a couple weeks and they bring the crew in from LA or whatever. Mm-hmm. But this was start and finish in Chicago, and I was a big fan of the books, and they distress everything. It's a dystopian movie, so you knew where they were. Like,
I see what you're saying.
You could
as you're driving around town.
Oh god, yeah. Okay. You could see like, they would take whacker and all the pebbles, they destroy the buildings. Like you knew where they were a week before they got there. Yeah. So I was stalking their set for a couple of weeks. And I had my little like tool belt, and I just was like standing there. And I will never forget this, but they were doing one of the scenes where they were pulling the L cars, and the stunt guys were jumping off the train. And I was just sitting there just mesmerized, and some guy said, hey, are you finally working with us today? Because I guess he had seen me like stalking the set.
Oh, that's
and I was
great.
like, no, I'm just watching. He's like, no, come on. So he pulled me on set. It was Paul Hewitt. The second unit DP.
Oh my god!
Like, and I was like, oh my gosh! And he's like, someone did this for me.
Are you in film school at this point?
Correct. I'm a sophomore.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and he said somebody did this for me when I was starting out, and every time I see somebody kind of hanging around,
that's so cool.
So it was crazy, but because of that, I met the entire second unit department at that point, which was Chris Rahano, Zach Anaway. It was a bunch of people that I then worked with, and I got Chicago Fire because of.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
It was a crazy moment, but meeting them then got me to just finish out the movie with them So I did the last 2 months as the second unit camera PA.
Oh, I was going to say as a PA. Okay.
Yeah, as a camera PA.
Yeah.
So I was able to meet them and kind of, they were wrapping up the first batch of second unit, and then they were starting up again like in a month. So I started with them about a month later.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it was crazy. And thinking of that movie, like, Trevor Loomis was the A second, like A first. Martin Shear was the A operator. Pat Soakley was the A second.
Yeah.
Like Chris Wittenborn, who's a big first in Chicago. It was a huge department. And,
that's great.
And it was just crazy because also Trevor Loomis and Martin Shear did Pirates of the Caribbean. So
oh wow!
One of the first days I saw Trevor, because we had like a crossover between main and second unit, and I did not know anything about him much because I was brand new.
Yeah.
But I was so excited because I saw him, and me being somebody who cannot control my thoughts, it was like, oh my god, you were the background of my computer when I was 12, and he's like, the fuck? And I was like, oh my god, no! And I just like I became red as a tomato.
Oh my
I was like, no, this like behind the scenes photo from Pirates of the Caribbean,
hilarious.
and he just started dying laughing.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I tell that to anybody who's like worked with Trevor or like, you said what?
Yeah, that's
like,
great.
Oh,
but that's great.
That.
But the thing is, I mean, the reality is like, I'm sure you weren't doing it to like, blow smoke up his ass.
Oh no, I just was genuine
honest.
like, oh my god, like I've been looking like you were on the background, like Pirates of the Caribbean, like.
But the funny thing about that is, I guarantee you the reason why they all glommed onto you was because you are genuinely excited about being in the film industry, and they could sense that, and like we all.
I was
like,
a poor sucker.
Well, and also, but like we all had that at some point, but some of us have all been like, all right, now we work in the film industry. So when you meet someone who has that, you're like, oh yeah, like
I used to
I like this too. Like this reminds me of me. No, but I think there's something to that. That's great.
It was really cute. It was fun. But
So how long did you work with them? A month?
So yeah, about a month and a half.
And did you come out of it going, I sort of have an idea of like how a camera department works? And
a little bit, but I also was like, I didn't know anything.
That's
like,
what
I remember,
that was the other question.
Oh yeah, so like Hunter Whalen. So again, because I was mainly
Hunter Whalen. I love Hunter Whalen.
because he's amazing.
He's the best.
But I was mainly second unit, but we had a couple days where I would cross over with main unit. But like second unit, I remember Hunter came to me one day. He's like, "Hey, can you go to the truck and grab a P-Touch?" And I'm sitting like, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm like, "What the fuck is a P-Touch?" I'm like googling it on my phone. I'm like, "How do I like?" Not a clue.
But for anybody who's listening who doesn't know, P-Touch is just a label maker. But
it's
I think it's a brand name or something
like
that.
Yeah, it's a brand of P-Touch, but I had no idea what it was. And I was like, "Oh no, Google!"
Oh, that's
thank
so
God
funny.
for iPhones. I'm like, "Oh my God."
God, so you were working with really good people.
Yeah,
that's
that was
so
the
great, and also like nice
legends.
people. Like I mean, they're good at what they do, and they're good people.
Yeah.
That's really great.
And that's kind of how I really got my foot in Chicago. Because meeting Hunter and Zach, they were the A camera team on Chicago Fire.
Okay.
So, and Matt Rozek as well who's an amazing first in Chicago right now. He does The Bear, Chris Dame, Shannon DeWolf, all those guys. I met a lot of them on Divergent. And then when that movie wrapped, they were starting Chicago Fire the next year. And because I had, worked with them before, it was I got the opportunity to be their camera PA.
Yeah. And
that was about a year later, so I was, I think, a senior in college at that point. But, went online classes for my whole senior year.
Wow.
And just was working full time. And
but as a camera PA or as
on
what?
Chicago Fire, yeah.
Okay.
And then I joined the union a little bit after that. Well, on Chicago Fire.
As a utility? And forgive me for asking this, but when you go from camera PA to utility, is there really that much of a difference other than you're in the union?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It depends. Well, definitely. Cause
I honestly don't completely understand what utilities do, even though I know they do a lot and they're important, but I don't quite understand what their job is.
Well, it depends on, I think the utility job is very interesting because it's very different depending on A, who you're working with, and B, what you're working on.
Oh, maybe that's why, because it does always seem to be different. Yeah.
So it's like when I started out, we were still hardlining everything. That was like when the Pterodactyl first came out. Like I can show you a video on my phone that I have that it is my favorite thing on my phone. But we were on Chicago Fire, and it was our utility, Matt Feasley, who's now Matt Rozek's second. They do The Bear.
Okay.
And he was our utility, and he was the one who trained me, Matt Feasley. And we have this video, and we're just staring at a doorway, and it's Matt wrapping cable with Matt Rozek holding a pterodactyl with the camera like a foot away from him, running down the hallway.
Right down the hallway.
With a handheld shot. And you just see the door from everybody running past.
Yeah, because the pterodactyl used to only transmit like 4 feet.
You could go like, if that. So the job then was much different because also TV, there's no playback. So you're in charge of the DP's village, the director's village. You're in charge of hair and makeup village. Okay. You're in charge of all the monitors.
All that stuff. Although that's changed now, like because now what sound is in charge of some of that now or something like that, aren't they?
No.
Wasn't there a big like union thing about that?
It's playback. So like you can't video playback, like the video playback.
Playback's a different thing, but I thought there was some.
But it's villages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're playing back,
it
has to be that.
Yeah.
But for camera monitors, we can run cables and connect monitors.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So for TV shows, very rarely do you have that. So when I started out, I was in charge of 3 villages. And you're running cables, and you're also in charge of batteries, you're in charge of all that.
Yep.
Well, we also had a camera PA, and the camera PA was predominantly, at that point, even when I was a camera PA, I wasn't really allowed to touch anything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so it just, especially if anybody, like, it was a whole thing. Like, you couldn't really touch anything.
So basically you're getting food for people and doing whatever
and you're
else
learning.
needs.
And, they're
learning.
and if it wasn't for Chef, like, he used to be a chef, Matt Feasley. So I don't think he even goes by chef anymore, but he's chef to me.
Who's chef?
Matt Feasley.
Oh,
So he's the A-second on the bear right
I would imagine he doesn't go by chef on
I don't
the
think he goes, but he used to be a chef before he started.
hilarious.
I love it. So
No
he's
wonder he's
just,
there.
in my
Yeah.
head, he's chef. So.
That's great.
But he would teach me how to wrap cable and how to do this. So, like,
That's
I think
awesome.
I became so good at wrapping cable because of him. And
Yeah.
also because I started out on shows where I had to run a bunch of cable.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really... And then the same thing with Empire. I was in charge of villages and doing all that stuff. And when I moved to Atlanta and I became Spicer's utility, he was hardlining everything. So that was even WandaVision, Hawkeye, Emancipation with Bob. That was
Really?
it was one of Bob's first digital movies.
Wow.
It was all hardlined.
Bob Richardson.
So
yeah.
I was running thousands of feet of cable.
Yeah.
Thousands and fiber
Wow.
and everything else.
Wow.
So that doesn't exactly, because the wireless is so good now.
Yeah.
That's not really a thing. They throw the panels up and then and it's great because utilities get to become more of like seconds in a way
Yeah.
in certain shows because like they get to be on set so much. So like they can help with lunch changes. They can help with anything the second might need of like, hey, go get my head, go do this, like, and they're there and they can do that.
Yeah.
But when I was, that wasn't really
I got
wasn't
you.
really a thing. It was like, hey, go run 2,000
Go run
feet of
all
cable.
that cable there, yeah, and keep an eye on it
Hey,
and
we're
make sure
moving
it's working.
around, wrap it all back.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
So it was a little bit of a different thing, but
That's cool. And so when did you make the jump from utility to loader?
after Emancipation.
Okay.
So that was 2021. 2021 is when because we were in New Orleans for 6 months. So that was my last. Like I got to be a distant hire utility
Okay.
because Kyle fought so hard for me to do that movie with him because he knew it was gonna suck
Where was it?
in New Orleans.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So it was in
I'm
Bush,
sorry.
Louisiana, but we were staying in New Orleans.
That's
But-
amazing that they actually could fight for that because that's usually they're like, no, get someone local.
Oh yeah. But because that movie, we were like, so out of the 6 months that we were shooting that movie, we were able to use our camera carts for one location for 4 days.
Oh, because you're in the swamps and stuff like that.
So we were in gators, we were running, we were hand carrying everything, 15 minutes past where the gators couldn't go. It was a lot.
Was Chris Fleury on that job?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Maybe it's a different movie than I'm thinking of.
No, it was Antoine Fuqua, it was Will Smith. It was the one that Will Smith then slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars like
good
a week
times.
after we wrapped.
Oh,
and,
it was after you wrapped
yeah.
at least, so you didn't have to like come back and
well, but
everybody's
that's
like,
why nobody saw the movie.
oh,
that movie
because
kinda just-
they tanked it. That's right.
Because we were shooting it at the same time as Flower Moon,
Yep.
and we were the two Apple movies.
Yeah.
And Flower Moon was supposed to release first, but I think Scorsese said we're holding it.
Yeah.
So they just kind of like, and after everything was Will, they were
And so
kind of
they just
holding it.
dumped it?
Well, they were trying to hold it and see like, okay, maybe in 2 years it'll die down.
In 2 years,
Nope.
exactly.
Nope. It
Wow.
just
How was Anton Fuqua?
amazing.
Really?
Oh, that man has a presence.
I've heard
I'm-
all sorts of interesting things
I
about him.
love
And
him.
he's very strange because he's made some really good movies and
yeah,
he's made
and
some
some-
really bad
Yeah.
movies.
And honestly, if you have not seen Emancipation, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic movie.
Okay.
I think it's one of his better movies
Really?
for sure.
Okay, good.
I loved him. He commands attention,
That's amazing.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he walks on set, and you're like, Antoine's here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
yeah.
Like,
Wow.
let's go. But he
That's
was
great.
really, really sweet to all of us. I had nothing bad to say.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh my gosh. And I won $5 Friday on the last day, and he gave me a big hug.
There's nothing wrong with that. And so, what was the first thing you did? You were as a loader?
I did reshoots was my first thing. My first full-time thing was a Marvel thing called Werewolf by Night.
Okay.
It was a little
A
Marvel
TV
thing.
show or
It was like a mini movie,
Okay, so
like
it was
an
like
hour-long movie.
40 days or something like that, or
It was like
30
20 days.
Oh, it was like
yeah,
one
it was
of those.
really, really short. It was like I think it only came out as an hour and a 10-minute.
And what's
that
like?
was with Zoe White.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Zoe
Yeah,
White.
she's
That's-
amazing.
I just finished with her, and
Yeah, it was me and Andy Stosh. I think was on Guardian. At the
Oh my
time.
gosh.
So, but it was Paul and Rachel. It was pretty much.
Oh, that's the whole
Yeah.
crew. They're the best.
Yeah, they're the best.
It's only been 4 days, and I miss all of them already.
Oh,
Even though I'm actually glad to be done with the show because I need a break.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But that's another story. And,
71 days, I'm sure.
and for the record, I'm perfectly happy to have worked and perfectly happy to be working because I
No, I
realize right now.
understand completely. I understand completely.
But so what's the mental game of like jumping at a loader and realizing like I mean like is it stressful realizing like because I mean let me rephrase this, because I did a little bit of loading on film, and I remember when I would get the film and go into the dark room, like I knew what I was doing, but I was still like nervous as hell because it's like it's in your hands.
Yeah.
And do you have the same feeling with digital, or is it not?
Not so much.
Okay.
I think, and that's why I prefer film. I think
because there's something at stake.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think the stakes are higher, and I think everybody is just that much more aware of that we're shooting on film.
Well, I think the process of shooting film is totally different than digital on every level. Yeah. Like people are not as serious. I mean, even from a personal point of view, when we first went to digital, I had to mentally convince myself when I was doing Steadicam, even when I was doing conventional camera, that something important was happening, because it used to be I could feel the film going, like the vibration, and I didn't realize until it was gone, but it would make me go, oh. and then because like when you didn't feel it, you're like doing a rehearsal or something. So I think it's totally changed that. But so digitally, it was just like I'm just.
Digitally, I think I really wanted to. What's the best way to say this? Genuinely, I don't think anybody actually ever wants to be a loader. Because I mean, here's the thing: I don't particularly like loading.
It's a path to something.
It's a path to becoming a second. And for me, I just prefer to be on set. And as a loader, you're not quite able to be on set as much.
I hear you.
And like, there's ways where like I do try to be on set as much as I can, but there's certain jobs where that's not quite the case. Like any film job, totally different. I would take that any day.
Yeah.
But like movie, like even Madden, like we were shooting in really small sets.
You're shooting film?
No, we were shooting digital. We were going to be shooting film. For like 3 months. We were shooting 35.
That's what
the
I
whole
thought.
job.
That's what I thought.
And then they switched it like a week before we were prepping. And I was like, damn it.
I'm surprised.
But we were going to shoot a bunch of 16 too, and then that all went away. So that stinks.
All right.
But with Madden, we were shooting on a lot of these really small houses and these really small sets that it just wasn't. It didn't make sense for me to be in there. Like, you got enough people in there, I'm just another body in the way at this point. So it's like I couldn't really help in any way that I would like to have on other jobs. But then there's jobs where you have time, and I can be on set, and I can help with lens changes and help with moving stuff and all that stuff. It just kind of depends, but I don't particularly like it.
So is the next logical progression to become a second?
Absolutely.
But so the thing that I don't quite understand is if it takes so long on some of these shows to download these mags, I mean, first of all, do you put it in and walk away, or do you have to kind of keep an eye on it?
It depends on the job. I don't usually keep an eye on it, if I'm being honest, because SilverStack and all these programs, they do check everything.
So they'll tell you if there was a problem.
And when I plug in the card, it says, hey, like if it's a full 2 terabyte card, that card's going to take to download to 3 drives probably 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Oh, so you can set it going and walk away.
Look at my clock, like watch and say, okay, I got 30 minutes. I go back to set.
Okay.
And if it's jobs, the only reason this one was specifically a little different is because Bob's colorist needed the footage so quickly. So depending on where we were, if it was 20 minutes, I would stay, because we were also sitting we were shooting so far away from our truck sometimes. It would take me 20 minutes to get back to set.
Yeah.
So
wait, are you talking about the colorist on set, or the colorist?
Colorist on set. So Bob doesn't usually have a DIT. He has an on-set full-blown colorist with a trailer.
Oh, you're talking about like an actual
colorist.
Oh, see, when you said that, I was sort of thinking DIT.
Oh, no. Okay. He has an actual colorist who's doing...
So wait, so they shoot it, you download it, and you give him a drive, and then that person is literally doing what coloring. They would do at Company 3 after the film.
And he works for him. Yeah. So he he is Bob's colorist. So, but there's scenes where, like, on Emancipation when we were doing this, because we were doing all these lightning delays, Bob would be in there every half hour.
Timing the movie as he's going.
Correct. Because he had 45 minutes. So it's like, I'll go to Bob's and like we'll go to Benny's.
Is the benefit of that just that he's absolutely certain that it's coming out the way that,
I have theories.
That's fascinating.
You can absolutely cut all that, but
no, that's all right.
I genuinely think, just between us, I think it's. I mean, you have a lot of movies now. We have a lot of DPs and studios who will change color at the end of the job.
So maybe it's baking.
And I think for him, he's baking things. He doesn't release anything.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense.
So, and because somebody who's shot predominantly on film, where he gets total control.
Yeah.
Digital wise, he doesn't get that much anymore.
Oh, I got
So I think for him, he's like, he doesn't release any dailies until he has gone through every single bit of it with Benny.
That's fascinating. Yeah, so it's a control thing, which makes perfect sense, because that's one of the big things from film to digital that's changed so much is like, it's like the DP's chair has gotten pushed farther and farther away from the monitors.
Correct.
And they've lost a lot of control.
Because you can change so much of it in post.
Yeah.
at any point.
No, that makes perfect sense.
So I think that's a very big thing for him. So he would go every day at lunch and every day at wrap. And he'd sit with Benny, and Benny would show him what he's done, and they'd tweak, they'd do whatever he needed.
Wow.
And Bob would tell Benny, okay, do this, and this, and then he'd come back in the morning, and they'd
So this guy, it's like a full trailer that he has?
Full trailer.
So it's like a mobile color.
Correct.
Wow, that's incredible.
But that's not common. Like that, Bob's the only one I've seen that does that. But that also then slows down the process for me. So it's like, for me, having to go to 3 drives instead of 2 adds time.
Sure.
And knowing that I have to take this immediately to Benny, so he has time to get stuff before Bob goes and sees him. Especially when you're under a time where lunch is like, hey, so we're supposed to break at 2, and then it's 1:30, and they're like, that's lunch, and you've got to drive, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I've got to deal with this.
Pissed.
Oh, God.
So it's just like, it's...
Yeah. So then, in preparation for becoming a second, are you then going to set whenever you can and sort of shadowing them and helping with whatever? And
if I'm not doing anything on the truck, I prefer to be on set.
Yeah.
I don't like being on the truck.
What's the tough? Well,
I don't know if you knew this about me, but I'm a people person.
Well, I know that you're a people person, but on the flip side, what I will say is anybody who knows Torey, who follows your social media, knows that you enjoy making the truck into a party atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. You should see my Madden truck, man. It was huge.
I will see if I can get pictures of some of your trucks and post them on the website for this, because every once in a while I'll look and be like, holy, like, it's insane.
Especially my Christmas time trucks.
The Christmas one, because there's always the elf, there's always the lights.
Buddy's always there, the lights are always there, the stockings.
It's pretty funny. I guess if you're going to be there, but I'm sure people appreciate that, right?
Well, I'm making this house a home.
But the thing is, I guarantee you that besides your personality, obviously, and you're good at what you do, I guarantee you that's also probably why you get hired by a lot of people, because it's like, it makes something that would ordinarily be boring fun, right? And
I hope so.
Yeah, I would think so.
But also, it's like you think about it, what we do as our jobs, of like, we're on set anywhere between 10 to 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a fluorescently lit.
Yeah, exactly.
Coffin. I want to be put some lights in there.
That. So what's when you move to seconding, what's like the biggest hurdle? What's like the thing that you're like, I can't wrap my head around that. Or is there?
I think there is. I think it's just the confidence of whether or not you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think I can do it. I've seen a lot of people. I've been honestly, I've been very fortunate. I've been in 600 for 11 years now. I've been doing this since I was 18.
Yeah.
So
is that right? Wow.
So it's like I have seen it and I've been around it a lot. But I think for me it's a big push of whether I can do it. It's like, oh, I don't have all these cases. I don't have all this equipment that I should when I make that bump. Yeah. But I know this is a really weird time in the industry right now, and
that's a whole nother story.
A whole nother conversation. Yeah. But I don't particularly want to try to make that bump now.
Yeah.
Because I can't guarantee that bump will be successful.
No, absolutely. No, but that's smart. I mean, you got to, it's like, there's the thing that you want to do, and then there's the reality that you're in. And it's like, you're definitely known in some very good circles, having loaded on some big things. No, I mention your name all the time. It comes up and people are like, oh yeah, we love Torey. Because you're on Red Bull 90% of the time.
Yes, that's true.
Again, so Red Bull, if you're
6 a.m. on
yeah, exactly.
On a pre-call.
Yep.
Bouncing off the walls.
But you have worked on like a lot of big movies for someone who's only been doing this for a small amount. I mean, you said you've only been loading for 4 years?
4 years now.
I mean, you've worked on some really big movies.
I was very, honestly, my first movie I loaded that I was terrified to do was Megalopolis. I mean, because that was Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, this is the first movie you loaded. I see what you're saying, yes.
So when I started bumping up,
Wait a minute, back up. The first feature that you loaded on was Francis Ford Coppola's likely last movie.
Yes.
Maybe not. I mean, you never know. And one of the biggest movies in a long time.
What an adventure.
So first of all right, tell me about getting the call for that.
So it was funny because that was right around, that was 2022. Yeah. So that was right when everything was crazy. Yeah. Like, there were jobs out the yin yang.
Yep. And
I had done a TV show, a Marvel show called Echo with, oh my gosh, an amazing guy. I've never met Ethan McDonald. He's fantastic. He's
a first
Autumn,
or he's a DP?
He's Autumn's first, who just did Sinners.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah. But I got a call for that. It was I can't remember how many, it was maybe 2 or 3 months. And that kind of took me through. But I was lined up with Kyle. Because, again, when I came to Atlanta, I was a utility for a really long time.
Yeah.
And I was good at being a utility. And when I moved to a new town, I was like, I don't really trust myself as a second or a loader right now. I would like to just utility so I can make a good name for myself.
Yeah. So, wait, let me ask you a question before you go on. You moved to a new town like Atlanta. How do you go out and get your name out there?
I didn't know anybody.
That's what I'm asking. For people who do that,
yeah,
right?
I didn't know anybody. Funny enough, so Keslow in Chicago Colette in Chicago.
Yeah.
Reached out to Greg here in Atlanta. And
Greg,
said, hey,
who runs
Kessel
here. Yeah.
And was like, hey, she's coming to a town, and I kind of, she's like, can she come and meet you guys? So he's like, yeah, absolutely. So I came to Keslow, and Greg was like, hey, well, I'll text you if, we got any preps coming, you guys can meet. You can meet everybody.
That's great.
I said, great. So I spent a lot of time at Keslow. Because we also didn't have Panavision in Chicago at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Panavision was in the break of Chicago, so Keslow was who I knew best.
Sure.
And I kind of would hang out at Keslow, and, anybody who was prepping, I'd
just
get
go
to
say
meet
hi
them.
and whatever. Okay.
And then through that, I was starting to meet friends in EAV, at Flatiron, at Trophy Room, at like all these different bars, and then you just kind of make some friends.
Sure.
Who were then like, I met one guy who was like, hey, we're starting this TV movie, we need a utility, and I was like, done. And then that was the same guy who then brought me on this show called Doom Patrol Season 1. Mm-hmm. And our second on that, his name is Paul Saunders. Love him dearly. He is Max Trincara's second. So when Max got the call for Megalopolis, Paul was on that with him.
I don't even understand how you remember these many people's names. I can't remember anybody's name. I don't know people I've worked with for 3 months.
No, but Paul's great. So I worked with him a few times. But Megalopolis, I remember because I was with Kyle and we were in line to do Blade. Like version 1 of Blade. I think there were 4 different camera departments on Blade at one point before they came that movie.
Blade meaning like the remake?
The Mahershala Ali Marvel Blade.
Okay, gotcha.
And that was supposed to shoot 2022.
Yeah.
That ended up falling away. Yeah. But we were lined up to do that. That was supposed to be me, Andy, Sash, Paul, Rachel.
Oh, wow.
It was going to be the whole gang. And Kyle was going to be the DIT.
Yeah.
And that ended up going away, thankfully. But I had gotten a call for Megalopolis. And I called Kyle and I was like, oh my God, I got this call. And he was like, you should do it. He's like, I know, but I'm supposed to do this with you. And he's
and you knew, you knew what it was. You knew it was, okay.
Well, because I looked it up. Everybody knew what it was. It was like Francis Ford Coppola. It was Adam Driver. It was, the biggest cast I've ever seen on a movie before.
Well, and it's Francis Ford Coppola.
So I was like, holy shit. Yeah. But I had actually never worked with Max before.
Okay.
But I had worked with Paul and I had worked with the B camera team before. And that was like my first full-blown feature loading.
That's amazing.
Which was awesome.
So tell me about working with Francis Ford Coppola.
He was great. Yeah? I mean, the fascinating thing about him was that he shoots everything like he shot everything in his career. So there's no monitors on set.
Oh, I love that.
That man sits next to the camera in his chair, he watches the
He's still old school. That's fantastic.
And he trusts Mihai, our DP, with everything. And, if he felt like he got it in the performance, he would look at Mihai, and Mihai
did you get it visually and good, we're off.
So the only real monitors were the focus monitors and our DIT.
That's
that was really
fantastic.
And also we had like this second unit, kind of mini unit kind of thing that I was still loading all their footage as well.
Yeah.
But that was like the fun unit, behind, what's the best way to say this? It was like all the little tricks and little visual
fun shots.
The fun shots that he's been doing since Dracula.
Yeah.
They were picking up these little weird
great.
The big miniatures and all this weird shit.
Was Sean Moe on that unit?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's what
so
I thought.
he was our C camera.
Yeah.
But he was pretty much that unit, and then they would come to our
and then
set.
Henry Turrell was on B.
Yeah,
right?
Henry was on B.
Yep.
Henry,
That's
and then
a great group of people.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, are there times where you're just like, I can't believe that's Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh yeah, it was crazy because he's 84.
I know.
And that man was on set 12 hours a day.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of crazy. You're like, damn,
right.
He's doing it.
But and were you able to engage him about his movies? Was he?
I really didn't.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't really do that. Mainly because I there's times I come in too strong.
Yeah. Really?
I try to keep it a little cool. But no, in Madden, John Mulaney, I love him.
Oh, John Mulaney was in Madden?
I love him so much.
Oh my gosh.
So he plays Trip Hawkins, the creator of EA Sports.
Oh, okay.
So, because the movie's pretty much about John making the video game.
Yeah.
About John's life.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that. I knew it was about Madden, but I didn't know it was about the video game.
So it's about the video game and about John's career and all this stuff. But
please tell me John Mulaney's as cool as I want him to be.
Oh my God. I think I scared him. But yeah, so he's in a movie with Christian Bale. He's in a movie with Christian Bale and Nick Cage with all these people. So his first day on set, I was like, oh my God, it's John Mulaney. I was like, and I had not talked to any actors. I love the fact that
with all those people, John Mulaney is the one that
And that's why I was laughing about this, because he wraps his first day, and he's walking back to his car, and I'm position myself to be able to pass him and be like.
So you stalked him. So just to be clear, so you stalked him.
And I was like, I was like, oh my gosh, John, I'm such a big fan. And it wouldn't stop. And I was like, I'm such a big fan. You did it. And I was like, I already have tickets for your show in December. And he's looking at me. He's like, and he's like, what's your name? I was like, I'm Torey. I work in camera. He's like, oh, it's great to meet you. And I'm
Is he slowly stepping away from you?
And I was like, oh shit, okay, bye. And then I run away.
That's hysterical.
So, I was talking to his assistant a couple days later, and I was like, I think I came in too hot. And he's like, Torey. He was talking about it for like 45 minutes.
That's great.
I was like, it was probably for the bad thing. He's like, well, no, I mean, he's on a show with Christian Bale and Nick Cage, and you freaked out.
And you were excited about him. Yeah. I know. I could see that. He may be the funniest person I've ever heard.
I love him. Yeah. He's just hilarious, and all of his specials are crazy. But I do have tickets for December.
Oh, that's fantastic. So
I don't usually talk to directors or actors.
Oh, is that right?
Well, because that's what happens. Sometimes I get too
you mean
excited.
You purposely decide not to because you don't want to let the genie out of the bottle?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's probably smart. Now, so is that going to be an issue when you're on set more?
No, because I also have no reason to talk to them, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm not an operator.
Now.
Exactly, but I'm not an operator at first. But if I'm like an A-second...
Well, when you're a second and you're marking
it's a different situation. Yeah. And I would be more comfortable doing that, but they don't know who I am.
No,
like, I'm the loader. I'm in and out of set so much that I'm just a face that they see.
Yep.
So I don't particularly like to engage much, just because I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, when I don't have a reason, I'm a fan of something like John Mulaney. That happens.
That's hysterical.
But I think it'd be different, like, once I'm a second and I could be on set and people see me a little more and they know my personality a little more. It won't be as strange.
So since we touched on that, so do you interact with the operators much?
I do. Oh yeah, like Henry and Colin and all those guys. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not talking about socially. I'm talking about professionally.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, because I'm also in charge of all of their paperwork, all of their shipping, all of their time cards, all of their receipts. I handle all that stuff. Yeah. So they'll text me at night and say, hey, I'm home, so I know their out times, and so I do have a different kind of relationship with them. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
But I don't really do much while we're on set because they've got their assistants, or like I'll carry the steady stand or stuff like that. But it's not. Yeah. I don't do much for them. That sounds weird to say, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, for people who are up and coming operators, get to know your loader because your loader takes care of all sorts of extremely important stuff.
It gets you paid.
Yeah, and check requests. And truthfully, anything else. I mean, it's kind of amazing actually the things that loaders have done for me in the past.
Yeah, if we need to change your car out, if we need to do anything like that, that's a lot of the time.
All of that stuff.
Or hey, you're running out of gas. Hey, Transpo, can you fill up their car?
So is there a which does happen? What's the eventual, like, what's the 20-year plan?
Oh God, I don't know. Is there a 20-year plan? I
feel
like I've had a plan and then everything's gone to shit. No.
Well, you said you didn't get into this to become a loader, so.
No, it's true. I would love to be a second. I want to be. So I think a lot of Shannon, who you've had on your podcast, because she's a career second.
She is.
She's fantastic. Yeah. She was a big part of my career in Chicago. Because I did Empire with her for 4 seasons.
Oh, sure. Okay. That's right.
Plus Electric Dreams.
Electric
and all those
Dreams,
shows.
where we met. Yeah.
With awesome John Lindley.
Yep.
But I think she did so much for me in my career. I'd love to have a career like hers. I'd love to be a second. I don't particularly think I want to pull focus in any way, because that scares me. I'm really bad at it. You've seen it.
That's good and blunt.
But I would really like to just be very good as a second. I do think, I know it sounds weird and egotistical to say, but I want to be really good at my job.
Well, everybody wants to be really good at their job, hopefully.
Hopefully. But that's why I think I stayed at utility for so long. I wanted to work on the jobs I wanted to work on.
To get to the point where you're like, I'm very good. And get to that level where I
get to make these, get calls for movies like Megalopolis. And get calls for movies like Madden.
Yeah.
Or have a DIT who's like, hey, I won't take this job unless you do it with me in New Orleans.
That's amazing.
So I was really fortunate, and oh my God, I'd be lost in this job without Spicer. Oh my God. Especially in Atlanta. Like, he's been amazing. But yeah, I want to be a second. I'd like to do that at that point, but I don't particularly want to, I don't want to do it yet because I don't think I'm ready yet.
Well, so that's my next question is what do you have to learn, or what do you have to...
If a first comes to me and says, hey, come second for me.
So that's what it is. All right, universe, you're listening right now.
Or just, I think more and more but I also really like loading film. Like, I kind of...
Yeah, but it's
so few.
You've only done 1 job, 2 jobs? Two. Which is 2 more than most loaders have ever done.
I would love to do more.
The thing that you have going for you is there aren't that many loaders who know how to load film. So at least, and generally speaking, the movies that are going to be on film are going to be big sort of tent pole or whatever you want to call it, some sort of big movie.
Did you see that Jurassic World shot on film?
Really?
Yeah. 35. The new one that's coming out. The Scarlett Johansson one. And also, I'm shocked.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like, why? Like, who won that argument?
I don't know. Especially because none of them. Well, maybe the first one.
No, the first one was, but
to a modern day VFX movie like that, crazy.
No, that's crazy.
Which is awesome. But also look at Twisters and Dan Mendel.
Oh, is that right?
They shot that on film too.
I don't understand how these people get these choices made.
Like,
it's
that's
fantastic.
Why, like, there's a part of me being like, okay, maybe this trend might shift a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
But
the thing is, but the bottom line is because you have loaded on big things on film, and you've worked with some big people, like you're in a very small pool of people who they might go to, you know?
I would hope, but it also is very much, I think I got very lucky that I met a lot of really incredible people here in Atlanta. And the thing, going back to SNL, like, without Eric and without Sebastian in Utah, I would not have gotten that job in any way, shape, or form. They had zero reason to hire me for that job.
Yeah.
I had never done it before on a movie. Like, they had worked with me as a utility, and they had worked with me as a digital loader, but never as a film loader.
So was there a big learning curve when you got in there?
Yes and no. I did, I flashed a mag my very first day at prep. It was a reg test.
Even so.
But at a reg test, but like I literally like, cause it was 16 mil too. So the way that we were like rewinding everything.
So wait, was this an SR or what was it?
No, we were on 416.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but because we were doing a reg test, that was my first time doing it. I had not practiced rewinding film. I didn't know that was a thing.
Wait a minute. So
like a reg test, you shoot like 40 feet, and then you got to go back and rewind it,
and then shoot it again.
And shoot it again with the board askew, so you can see the lines.
You can see it. Yeah.
I didn't practice rewinding film.
Yeah, who does that?
So in my head, I was, and Utah's like, yeah, so basically you're just going to rewind it. I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting there. But because 16 is coaxial, when I put it down to rewind it, it fell through the bottom.
Oh, jeez.
So it's caught, like, so, because it's, the take-up size of it. So I'm like, and I could hear it in the tent. I'm like...
You're in a tent.
Because we were at Panavision.
Yep. Okay,
so I'm like,
gotcha.
I could hear in the tent, and then I was like, okay, so it stopped pulling, and I was like, okay, I think that's it. So I unzipped, and I opened it up, and I'm staring at 40 feet of film, and I was like...
Oh, my God. First of all, this is a red
That's it, but my heart went into my ass.
But still, it's just, like, not a great way to start.
Correct, day one. Like, I was like, oh, my God, like, this is going to be it.
Okay,
like,
so here's the question. What's the next step at that point? I mean,
I did. I looked at it, and I looked at Utah because he saw me, and I was like,
he knew.
It's like, I fucked up. I was like, I fucked up. And my heart is in my ass. I couldn't eat for 3 days. Like, and Utah's like, Torey, it's a reg test. We have enough film to shoot another one. I'm like, I know, but I still did it.
Yeah.
This is day one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, but that really did kind of like lit the fire under my ass to make sure.
Did you shoot the whole movie on 16?
Whole movie was 16.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Whole movie was 16, 200T.
Yeah. Wow.
The entire thing. Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's the other thing I didn't think about, because back in the day, you also had to keep track of all the different film stocks.
Yes,
which
this
maybe
one,
on this
and
it was
that's-
one. So, but
Yeah, and this was a little easier because again, it was one. But and after I got the job and I was learning a lot about the other side of film loading.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of my friends who were seconds and firsts now who used to film load a lot and still had their documents of how to keep inventory.
Oh yeah, which is a whole like that. I mean,
whole other thing.
that's like an Amazon warehouse kind of
whole other thing.
situation.
So
yeah.
it was what was really great though is getting to see 4 or 5 different people's versions of theirs.
Oh wow.
So then I was able to build my own of what I liked on everybody's.
Sure.
Because a lot of my friends had Excel documents. They're like, hey, just use this, and I was like, yeah, but I don't trust. Not only don't trust you, but I don't like trusting other people's.
It's not the way
equations.
your mind works or
yeah,
whatever.
And it's like,
yeah,
I need to make sure that I know how these are working. So if something doesn't look right, I know how to fix it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. You got to make it your own.
But the paperwork side, that's what I liked most about film loading, is it's the just. You need to have everything in order.
Oh, you totally do. That's why I'd be terrible at it. But I remember like we'd shoot things with like 5 or 6 different film stocks, and they would have to keep track. I mean, because they'd have to make sure that we had enough, and for any different point. And then it was funny because at the end of the show, it'd be like, all right, we're shooting on like 80-foot loads and whatever.
It's like you don't know how much short ends.
All these short ends all over the place. But like the math in that just blew my mind. It's like,
but it's a little easier with digital now because I can make like an Excel document or that I can calculate. Like, okay, this, and this equals this. This is how much we've wasted. This is how much, and they can just add it as the days go on. So
I gotcha.
It's a little bit easier than back in the day when everybody was doing it on paper.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine that.
It was kind of. I mean, I just remember it happening. I mean, I remember going in and pouring over paperwork.
But that's what I do love about it though. It's like we were talking about before. Everybody has just a different mindset, and it's a fun, amazing feeling knowing that, like, Saturday night, every single piece of that movie went through my hands.
That's pretty cool. So was that a good movie to work on?
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah?
And it also speaks to, like, how different movies are with different people and how, like, shooting different ways and all this stuff. But on SNL, we were shooting on one stage predominantly for 98%
that was
of
just
that
the
movie.
set, basically.
So they built all of Studio 8H on stage
cool.
at Trilith. So it was 2-story set with the main stage, with Lauren's office, with all the hallways, everything, the elevators. They were all in there.
Yeah.
And we kind of made it like a little home. So every morning, Jason Reitman, our director, and Eric we'd have like a big whiteboard, and they would say, "Okay, guys, this is what we're shooting today."
That's
and they
cool.
would go through each shot, which was amazing because so much of this movie, if you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's a lot of big one-ers.
Yeah, yeah.
Which also, as a film loader, was fun. Because, like, the first shot in that movie, when you enter into Studio H, it's like a 5.5, 6-minute one-er.
Yeah.
Which means it was one take, can the short end, reload.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, like, running back
These
and
are
forth.
400-foot mags?
Yeah, for 16 mil.
So that's 12 minutes.
So it's about 12, 11
Yeah.
minutes. So yeah, you're like one. So I had like 22 short ends day one of just like 120 feet, like 140
gosh.
feet, and you're like,
Wow. Wow.
so they're like, hey, B camera, you doing inserts? Perfect. Here, take these short ends.
Did any of the SNL people, the actual SNL people, like from back in the day, show up?
Not on set, but Jason was obviously very good friends with Dan Aykroyd from
Okay.
all the movies we had done,
Yeah.
or they had done with Ghostbusters and stuff. So
Yeah.
he called in a bunch of times and was talking to the cast and everything, and we could hear him on speakerphone.
Oh, that's
but,
cool.
Yeah, they were awesome.
What
But-
a cool thing to be a part of. Like, I mean, that's like part of like entertainment history
And
right
I
there.
was, and that's why I pushed so hard to do it. And I was like, I don't care if I don't know how to do this. I will
Yeah.
learn because it's this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was really cool. But that doesn't really happen all that often when you get to be that involved in the process of knowing what we're doing that day. It's like you have your call sheet and you know kind of what
Yeah,
you're doing.
no,
but,
that's rare
but
and
for
fantastic.
everybody to be on the same page.
Actually, you know who that reminds me of is John Lindley. Because John has that thing where he's like, it may change, but here's the plan for
Yeah,
the day. He
which is
doesn't go through
great.
every shot, but he lets you know what's going
Yeah.
on. And
But on a movie like SNL where, okay, each scene was pretty much one shot
Yeah.
in some of these cases. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we might only have 6 shots today.
Sure.
But that's 6 scenes right there. Like half of what we were doing. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So I have 2 specific questions I want to ask you. Number 1, how were you not on the F1 movie?
Dude.
And how much did you try to get on the F1? Because anybody who knows Torey knows that, as a matter of fact, she was going to come over at 11 and she was like, I'm not going to get to
Qualifying
11:15
was
because
on!
qualifying is
Also,
on. And I
Max
was like,
Verstappen took
"Gotta-"
pole. Whoop whoop.
So did you stalk people to try to
You
get
have
on this
no
movie?
idea. Yes. So when we wrapped Emancipation, well, because also Dan Ming, who's incredible, he was the
great
first
guy.
AC on
Yep.
Top Gun, as well as then on F1.
Yep.
But when we did WandaVision in LA, Dan, this was right after COVID, so this was like September of 2020.
Okay.
We were pretty much the first show back.
Yep.
We were shooting on the lot. We had Lukash and Dan Ming on C camera.
Wow.
Like, if that...
Yeah, basically, just because nobody had worked and everybody was
Yeah,
like,
and everybody was
There's
available.
a job and I'm available.
And they're
yeah.
home. Like, they were in LA. We were shooting on the Warner, like on the lot.
Yeah, yeah,
At the
yeah.
Disney Ranch and
Wow.
stuff. So they're like, yeah. So they were talking a lot about the Top Gun, like Maverick movie and all this stuff because that hadn't come out yet, but they had just wrapped
They
it
had
before
wrapped
COVID.
it. I got you.
And we were talking about that. And then we did Emancipation. And Jimmy Ward, who was our A-First, who's now Bob's first AC, he's who did Madden with me as well.
Okay.
And he had also done Top Gun Maverick. So around 2021, so it was like probably early 2022 is when they announced the F1 movie.
Yeah.
And it was like Brad Pitt's doing a movie, Lewis Hamilton is going to be the producing, and it became all around the F1 sphere of what was going on. And I was like, oh my God. So I was like,
I can
Dan?
just see this.
It's like, Dan, Jimmy, like anybody I knew. I was like, who? Because like a lot of the people from WandaVision LA did Maverick. And I was like, okay, who knows what?
Yeah.
What's going on? What? I will PA. I will get you water. I don't care. But then the whole thing went to the UK.
Yeah.
So say love you.
Well, but
they hired out there.
But they did come. They came to the States and whatever.
They
but did they
did.
just bring everybody with them?
I don't know.
Because I know David Emmerichs went down to Florida and
Yeah,
he
they did
texted me and was
Daytona.
like, "You are not going to believe where I am." I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
they did Daytona.
And it's funny because I have zero interest in that, so I was like, "Okay," but he was like, "This is a childhood
Well,
dream."
because Dan, their loader that they brought down there was Lauren Cummings. She was in LA and she's worked with Dan before. But
so there you
I
go.
also know Laura. So Laura, they were at Vegas. She sends me a text and it's a photo of Daniel Ricciardo, and she's like, me and Dan thought you guys you'd have such a good time here. All right, let me just, I'm freaking out here. But yeah, she sent me a picture of Daniel Ricciardo and it said, "Oh my God, Dan and I keep talking about how much fun you'd have if you were out here." I'm like, yeah, I know. And it's just this photo of Daniel Ricciardo going like this. I'm like,
Oh
you
my
mother-
gosh.
What? So she got to do the Daytona part and the LA and the Vegas part. But
that's great. But every time I like that movie would come up, and now that it's out, I keep thinking of you.
I saw it 3
You'll probably do
times.
F2 and F3 and F4.
I will do anything. Again, Dan, if you're listening, I will get your waters.
There you go. So just so you know, Red Bull and F1.
Yeah, I saw it 3 times
in
the span of like 24 hours.
And did it disappoint? I haven't seen it yet.
It was amazing.
Is it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Is it amazing if you don't like F1? I mean, not that I don't like F1.
Well, I think it's just
I
like if you are just the process of the movie is fantastic.
A friend of mine saw it yesterday. Who was? Oh, Hopper Stone.
The Stills Parker.
Yeah, Hopper saw it, and I said,
Hopper
"How was
did
it?"
SNL with us.
And he goes, "Yeah, he did SNL." He goes, "I learned a lot about tires." I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, I didn't know there was so much about tires."
Oh, it's so good. I mean, the story is the story. It's redemption
it's
arc of the driver.
and-
It's a movie, but everything else is fantastic. Like I was sucked in instantly.
Well, I know Dan made those little cameras, or he and someone else made those little cameras that were in the cars that could pan around and stuff like that.
And again, like so AMC, like or not AMC, AMG Petronas or Mercedes, they're the ones that made those whole cars. So they helped him. So the cars that Brad was driving was a Formula 2 car that they just redid the aerodynamics of.
What's a Formula 2 car?
So F1, you've got different classifications. So you've got F1, and then below you have F2, F3, F4.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So they're just slower, smaller cars.
But it's the same concept, but just not as not
so,
as beefy.
but F2 and F3 and F4, they're all generally the same. Like they're uniform cars.
Yeah.
And then it's more about the driving.
Yeah.
But they're easier to drive because of that. So with F1, they had F2 cars that they just had Mercedes outfit in what would be an F1 body.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool. But those things are, like, the weights are so particular at all times. So for them to figure out how to put batteries, cameras, everything in there is insane.
Oh, the weights meaning, like, if you put something in the back, you've got to counter it because it has to be weighted correctly.
Those cars are just insane.
Oh, I never even thought about that. You can't just, like, go, we're going to throw a camera here because it changes
it will
changes the center of gravity.
It'll change the aerodynamics. It'll change all that.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
But which is why I'm sure when like Dan and all those guys went out there to do it, they had to do that same thing with Maverick.
Yeah.
So they're used to having to deal with those kind of like specs.
Because it's that specific. Oh, that's really fascinating. At some point I want to talk to Dan about all this because it seems like a whole different...
Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, it's more than just being incredible. An AC.
But I remember 2023, they shot in Silverstone, and I'm watching the race at home, and I'm just looking, I see Lukash running around with the camera, and I see Dan, everybody, they got like the whole get-up and everything. I'm like, what? They got custom like Apex racing gear on.
That's so great because they had didn't they have a pit?
Oh yeah, they shot at Silverstone like 2 years ago. So they had the cars on the back of the grid. They did the formation lap with the drivers and they pulled into the pit. But they shot and they were saying they had like 8 minutes to shoot the whole scene on the grid because they like F1 said you can shoot no problem.
You're not going to mess with this. Yeah,
you cannot disrupt the weekend.
That's amazing.
Wow. Nuts.
All right. Well, you'll get on the next one. I'm sure.
You should see it. You got to see it.
No, I have to. I just haven't gotten to it yet. When I first met you, you had less tattoos then. You had tattoos, but you had a tattoo. Is it on your arm of the court of the latitude or the coordinates?
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. And when did you get that? That's where you first saw the...
Yeah, that's the coordinates of the bay in St. Vincent. It's where Port Royal was. Yes.
And basically it was just to remind you of why you love this, or...
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I remember going like, why do you have coordinates? And I remember thinking like, maybe she like left something somewhere. Just
like, so I need to know, this is where my car's parked.
Yeah. But I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, it's like my film tattoo without having... like a film tattoo.
Yeah.
I guess it's a combo thing. But yeah, that was one of my first ones actually.
Wow.
So
that's very cool. But I think actually Lindley was like, yeah, ask her about the tattoo on Red Bull. Yeah, because
but she's like, anything to get Torey away from talking about You've Got Mail. Just ask her about anything else.
I didn't know that. Is that right?
Oh my God, I would ask John daily. It's like, tell me a new You've Got Mail
story. He probably loved that.
He's like, just anything. You've Got Mail, tell me it. So like every time I'm on a plane or anything and I see You've Got Mail, I send him a photo. It's like,
that's hysterical.
Still just as good.
That's great. Oh, I love that. That's fantastic. Now, on a totally non-film related thing, you also have you tend to travel.
Oh, I booked a flight already.
Where'd you book?
Oh, I'm leaving on Wednesday.
To where?
Croatia.
You travel more than anyone that I know.
But I'm also going to Denmark because it was the cheapest round trip.
Like you're stopping in Denmark?
Well, yeah, like I'm going to Croatia and then I'm going to Denmark and Sweden and flying out of Denmark.
But I mean, you're going to spend time there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I'll spend like a week there.
That's great. Have you been to any of those places before?
No.
Because the last time I saw you...
I was going to Japan.
Well, no, the last time you saw you were like, I found this cheap flight to Japan, but I don't know if I should go. And
it was
just like, go.
$700 round trip direct.
But you also go by yourself.
I do.
I mean, that's incredible.
I'm going to a music festival in Croatia.
Like that's why you're going, or you just happen to...
there's like a big music festival.
And so do you meet people everywhere? You must know people all over the world.
I stay in hostels and I get to meet a bunch of cool people everywhere.
That's awesome.
So I'm staying I have a layover in Amsterdam, because again, I took cheap flights.
Yeah.
But, not really, it's on Delta. But I was like, I'll just go sit at a cafe in Amsterdam for a couple hours. But I have a friend I met in Vienna during Christmas who lives in Amsterdam, so she's going to come meet me for
I know it. Are you only going to be there for a couple hours, or are you there? Oh.
And then I guess a stopover to Croatia.
Have you been to Amsterdam before?
I have, as a stopover before.
Oh, you should go.
And the same thing. I met up with her.
Go to Amsterdam, though. It's fantastic.
Yeah, my cousin just went. He had a great time.
It's unbelievable. It is the greatest city. I mean, I haven't traveled anywhere near you have, so you'll be the decider. So how many countries have you been to at this point?
Oh, God.
You don't even know? You don't keep track of this?
I have a little...
I thought it'd be tattooed on your...
No, I have a... You're not going to be surprised by this, but my luggage is a Red Bull bag.
Of course. Again, Red Bull, if you're listening, you're missing out on a big opportunity.
I do. It's a Red Bull duffel bag, and it's got like a Velcro side pouch, and I just buy these little 1 by 1 inch flags of all the places I've gone.
So, how many do you get?
Well, north of 30.
Wow.
But I can't give...
And you've basically been doing this since what? You were 18 or 19?
Yeah. Well, the big thing too is, so when my mom passed away, my dad started working at Delta, and it was, I think, when I was 22.
Oh, I didn't know this part of the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
this
was around when I met you.
So could you just jump on a plane?
Yeah. So basically, I had free flights for a year.
Holy.
So my dad was like, "Here's my login. Just, you can look at whatever flights you want, and just kind of, you can see." So I was able to see what flights were empty. So this was also my first year on Empire. So my first year's utility. My first year of making a little bit of money, and I'm very irresponsible.
Awesome.
So we would wrap, and we were doing a lot of overnights. So I would wrap at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. I'd go directly to O'Hare Airport.
After couple of Red Bulls, I'm sure.
Exactly. Let's see, which flight? We'll go there. So I do travel.
Seriously? You just go to O'Hare and go, what's going somewhere now, and go there?
So I think I took 52 flights in a year.
And you go for the weekend?
Yeah.
Holy.
Ask Shannon. I will never forget.
Are you concerned that when you get there, you're not going to be able to get a flight back?
Ask Shannon. This was every single time I go somewhere, she'd be like, "I swear to God, if you don't get your ass back here." She's going to be so pissed. But one of the times I went here to Atlanta to a music festival, and I was a storm was kind of coming in. I got a little nervous, but I went and saw the first couple acts of this music festival. And then at 8 p.m., I'm like, I should probably maybe try to get a flight out now. So I went back to the airport. As I was at the airport, I'm covered in mud. The rain had hit. I've never gotten on a flight so gross in my life. I get to the airport. I get on a flight right as my phone goes off and says, "Tomorrow World Music Festival shut down. Hundreds of people stranded in rural Georgia."
Oh my God! So you just missed it.
I just missed it. I think I got the last bus out.
That's insane. Wait, but you would go to places within the country, or you go out of the country as well?
So my first trip I ever took was to London to see Mumford & Sons. They did their homecoming show.
Oh, I would totally see that.
So, and they had to shut down Thursday, Friday. So I was like, well, Mumford & Sons.
Oh, the show shut down.
The show shut down. So I was like, well, let's get on a flight. So I flew out Friday. I saw the show Saturday. I flew back Sunday. Did
you ever get somewhere and you couldn't get back in time?
Oh yeah. Because I'd have to call my dad and be like, "Hey, so I'm in Spain." He's like, "What?" And I was like, "But I can't get back." So I'd have to use his D1 status, and it would kick me to the front of the line. But he had to be the one to type in his stuff. So I was just like, "You just tell me when you leave the country at least."
Yeah, right.
Sorry, can I
That's fantastic.
But I think the biggest trip I went to was Barcelona for the first time. Wow. That was my first Formula One race as well. 2016. Good. Max Verstappen, both Mercedes collided. Best race ever.
Wait, you were in Formula One, or you went there and just stumbled into it?
I was into Formula One already.
You were fully on
into it. So that was Max Verstappen's first race. That was my first race to see in person.
Wow.
Also stumbled into the middle of the Barcelona won La Liga that year too, the soccer team.
Oh.
So stumbled across their giant parade.
Oh my God.
Messi, Neymar, Suarez, some absolute legends. And I'm walking around, some girl gives me a flag. I'm like, it was awesome. I saw that flag in my apartment.
What's the best place you've been?
I love Spain.
Yeah?
Oh, I love Spain. I love every part of Spain.
Yeah.
Specifically the south. I like the south of Spain a lot. But Japan was amazing.
And actually, I had another question I was just going to... Oh, this is a stupid question, but how much does it cost to go to a Formula One race? Is it expensive?
Depends. It used to not be.
I mean, is it good seats, bad seats kind of thing?
Yes and no.
A concert?
You can get general admission tickets to some races.
What are general admission tickets?
I used to be able to go to Austin, Texas for about $100.
Okay.
So Drive to Survive, I love it and hate it simultaneously. Because I remember I used to walk around in my Red Bull jackets all the time, and everybody would be like, hey, where's the free Red Bull? Because they didn't understand it was an F1 thing.
Oh, I see.
Now it's like, oh, I bet you're only a Red Bull fan because Max Verstappen's winning. I'm like, I swear to God, try me, I will school you. I will school you so fast, it's not even funny.
They don't know who they're dealing with. That's hysterical.
But the U.S., now that they've got Miami and Vegas, all the races got more expensive here.
Yeah, I'll
for
bet.
sure.
Yeah.
So like,
they're a couple $100 for tickets now?
Probably more than that now.
Really?
They're in the thousands.
It's ridiculous.
So, but like Spain, my 4-day ticket to Spain in 2016, granted it was 2016, was $250 for the weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's not the
And
same.
that was a start-finish line grandstand seat.
Yeah.
So that same seat in Miami last year was like $3,600.
It's just crazy because like when I was in high school, it's different, but it's concerts. You go to see the Stones and it'd be like $25.
Oh God, I wish it was that.
It's just a totally different world,
yeah.
you know. And now it's like I see these people getting Taylor Swift tickets, like general admission.
$10,000.
Yeah, well, general admission for like $500 or something like that.
It's crazy. But I like because I like to travel so much. I see races in Europe now, just because I get to make a trip out of it.
Oh yeah,
and it's cheaper. So I went to the Italian Grand Prix in Monza a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. That ticket was $180.
Wow.
And I was like, well, make a trip out of it.
Do you speak any other languages, or do you just get by?
Not good at Spanish, but I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
But I listen to nothing but Spanish music, so if you hear me singing it, it sounds like I know what I'm doing. I do not.
So do you just like do a lot of Google Translate and whatnot?
Yeah, but it's like you go to a lot of places.
Most people speak English.
A lot of people do speak. I know I hate it, and I try to like wherever I go, I try to learn at least a little bit of a basics of saying hello or bathrooms, stuff like that. But then as soon as they hear your accent, they switch to English.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which is crazy. Japan was, I think, the hardest because some places, especially in like rural Japan, do not speak English, and that would be Google Translate.
My daughter went to China, and she was by herself one day, and she was like, "I've never been anywhere where no one speaks English."
And that was the first time for me because anywhere I've gone in Europe, anywhere a lot of places in South America, like they genuinely will speak English or at least know a little bit. But in Japan, it was point.
Yeah,
and I'm good with that. Like, and I can use Google Translate or Or you can even like use because everything's gotten so advanced. You take your phone to the camera and it'll translate things.
Exactly, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, so it was not hard. The trains took me a little bit to figure out in Japan. Yeah. But other than that, I really haven't had much of an issue.
What's the place you haven't gone to that you absolutely want to go to? Like, what's the bucket list?
Really want to do Thailand.
Oh, well, okay.
I really want to do Thailand. But it's so far to get to. Yeah. And I want to be there for a long time. A month or two at least. And I also really want to do Argentina.
Oh, really?
Would be on my list. And Brazil as well. I have a lot of places.
Yeah, I'll bet. You'll get there. One thing I wanted to ask you about that I looked on your IMDb, it says you were a camera operator on something called Boy Band.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And I just saw that and I was like, there has to be some story here.
So my ex-boyfriend in Chicago, his dad his parents are so sweet. But he was actually the showrunner on The Wire.
Oh, wow.
Joe Chappelle. Amazing guy. His wife, Colleen, was kind of like directs a lot of stuff as well. She wrote this little miniseries called Boy Band. Yeah. And it was just like this docu-series about like this boy band that like she created to make it like I think they were trying to sell it. I haven't seen them obviously since I moved here, but we shot like 6 episodes of just like
the camera operators. Yeah, so it's documentary with like a little handy camera. Or
yeah, it was like a docu. No, I think we shot on Red Epics actually.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because like they had links with like Keslo and all that stuff, so we got a full camera package, and I had a first AC and a second, and I had no idea what I was doing, but we were just having a good time. But yeah, it was great. And then their son, I think, was directing a couple of the episodes as well.
That's great. It
was a good time.
Good deal.
But that was just a late, yeah. It was a fun time.
I was going through and I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? So
yeah, it was with a lot of the old student films in there too.
Well, listen, this has been fantastic. I appreciate all the stories and hearing about all your travels. It makes me want to go somewhere. I should go somewhere. I'm going to leave you with the question I leave everybody with, which is advice for someone getting into the business on how to succeed, or what you wish you knew that you know now, what you wish you knew then.
My biggest advice would be to not compare yourself to anybody else in this industry. If I'm being honest, because I wish I didn't do that as much as I have in my career. Because I started in Chicago, and like I said, I've been doing this since I was 18, 32 now. When I've had a bunch of friends back home in Chicago who are steps ahead of me as their first ACs now, their second ACs now. They were my camera PAs, they were this stuff. And even in Atlanta, there's a lot of people who have other pals and have, opportunities that presented themselves, and it's great for them. I needed to learn to not think of it as personally and be like, oh, this person got that opportunity, why didn't I? No, everybody's just on a different path, and everybody does different things, and to not fixate on that, because it'll get there. You just gotta believe in the process. And I think everything does happen for a reason, and I think there's a lot of jobs that I don't think I got offered, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because instead I got to do other things, like SNL would be one of the big ones for me, because I was really trying to go for a different job. I ended up not getting it, but because of that, I got Saturday Night. And I wouldn't have traded that for the world, so.
I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. We'll be back soon with another great episode. Don't forget to check us out on theop.io for all sorts of information on operating and storytelling. So thanks for listening and have a great day.